Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fairy in the Woods podcast. It's been a minute, but I'm really glad to be back, and hopefully, we will have more episodes to be coming soon. I have some people in mind, but today we are here with Daniel Cano Restrepo. Say hello.
Hi, everyone.
Now, you're calling in from Colombia, which is super cool. We got an international call.
Yes, I'm here currently in the city where I grew up. It's called Medellin, so Medellin, Colombia, and I'm still living in the US, but happen to be here for the holidays just to see my family and recharge. So excited to share more about Colombia.
Yes, and it looks beautiful from all of the videos that you've been posting, and I'm really jealous, and I hope that one day I'll be able to come visit.
Yeah, it's like truly such a magical place. Like it's just you have to come.
So, for context, I think we should tell the viewers where we know each other from and how long we've known each other.
Yeah, definitely. So I was living, I mean, again, still living between Newport and Medellin, but was in the US for my past 8 years where I had a company with my husband. It was called Newport Out. It's a travel and marketing agency that we had the opportunity to meet Myka as an intern for Newport Out. So that's kind of where it all started, but then it ended up becoming something bigger to the point where we launched nonprofit with a group of friends and community there in Newport, Rhode Island. And Micah was just so like fierce and just like showing us what the future of like what exactly we were doing is for the community of Newport and the surrounding area. So Micah ended up joining the team of Newport Pride. And since then, I see Micah just like growing more and more. And although I'm not currently with the team anymore, I'm just so excited for the legacy we started and that is continuing through you. And I'm sure we will continue for the longest, we hope.
Yeah. And that was in 2021 is when I first started interning. So it's been a long time now.
Yeah. It's like also through COVID. So it was quite a lot to like take in and just it felt like also very grassroots. Maybe Newport Pride is now at a different level, more like a maybe at the beginning it was just like us just trying to figure out what we were doing and build up to what it is right now.
Yes, and we have built so much, and now we have our own community space, and we host events and the Pride Festival, and all of that is thanks to you and everything you've done for Newport Pride. So, can't thank you enough for that and for the opportunities.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sometimes like because we were just so much in the work, like day to day. At least I couldn't see the impact, but now the more I'm just outside of it, I just hear people just saying how much they've seen change in the community and the work that we've done. So that just makes me very proud. And not just that it didn't end there, but it's continuing. So
it's really great. And I'm so happy to be a part of it. So our roots of knowing each other has been within the queer community. It's perfect for Fairy in the Woods. So I gotta ask, for the viewers to know, like, what your identity is and your pronouns.
Yeah, so it's interesting though because I feel like when I was here before going to US, I was just identified as a gay male, and honestly, there was just not much questioning around identity. It was just like, okay, you're gay, okay, whatever. But I feel like in the US has just it allowed me to just question myself more about identity and learning differences between your sexuality versus your identity and your expression. Things that I'm still teaching my mom to, because I think for her it's just not part of their culture or how they were taught, and so it's like now a new world where they have to also adapt to us. So being a really inspiring journey where I had the opportunity to question myself so much, but also being back, it's kind of the opposite where like I don't have to be questioning my identity. I'm just Dani, and I don't have to constantly be like questioning or explaining who I am. Just go through the world being myself. And part of that also maybe it was like making peace with that part of me, that identity that the US allowed me to explore it, learn through it. And right now, I just, again, don't have to be questioning my identity every day. I'm just know that I am. Oh, kitty.
We have Chip here with us today.
Hey, kitty.
Yeah. A really great point that you make. And, you know, I've definitely been feeling that myself lately of just like, instead of questioning myself so much, like just being myself. And so definitely something that I experienced a lot more when I was younger and not as sure of myself. Having so many labels out there and so many resources online, you're like, where do I fall into this? But it's not always about the labels. Sometimes it's just about finding your community and just being there, being a part of it.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like I can relate to you more through my Latin background than specifically like my sexuality, because also when I was here, I was not questioning my color or my race. And then you go out into other countries and then you sort of have to build up a new version of yourself that has to adapt to this new culture and with the way that this culture lives. So America and US is very race driven. So like they are also just got me also constantly asking about my identity and my background, which again, when I come back here, I'm like not asking like, is it okay to be Latino? Is it okay to be Colombian? No, just we are Colombians and
Yeah.
period. I don't know. It just feels like it just plays in the system of how you say manipulate people too, you know, through these narratives and like just I feel like especially for trans people right now, it feels like they have chosen a target and like, okay, let's go all the way down with making them feel like alienated, questioning, like doubt of your own existence to the point you're just break from inside. But that's why I love to travel so much. Just allows me to just see things through a new lens, not just think, no life is just one way. There's just so many ways to live that when you go to another country, you're like, wow, I can't believe that I just thought that there was just one singular way of seeing things. And no, every place has their way that other country could not conceive that will happen, and it happens, you know. So
Yeah.
Just it opens your mind so much.
I've also traveled too, and seeing the difference of the cultures is pretty crazy. Even just with like the simplest things, like the way people have manners and like the way that people in America often ignore each other. That's something that I've noticed. Like we just go about our days and look past people, even if they're struggling. But in other countries, like people can be more friendly and sometimes not. And it's just really interesting. There's so many different ways that.
Yeah, I also feel like sometimes so it's the people, it's the food, but also the topography that just because I grew up in Medellin and is known for being like people from this region are very proud of us being paisas from Medellin, not just Colombians, but paisas from Medellin. So I've heard theories around like how the city is designed. It's like a valley. Mm-hmm. So we cannot see past through the mountains. Like we can only see mountains around us. So the theory is like you just create a sense of like this is your place. Like there is not beyond that versus other cities that are just like flat. You can't really even see pass through. So I don't know if that affects like how you interact with that city too, or the way that you can go up to the mountains and like look at this city and just it's just insane view. I think also that topography of these countries plays a lot on the way that you will feel here, and the weather is just another one that's just unmatchable. Like it's just a perfect weather.
Yeah, jealous. It's cold. It's really cold right here.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in, you said when you were in Colombia, you feel more of a sense of belonging, like in your identity as a Colombian, but like when you come to the US, it's different because of all this culture we have around race and judgment. And I'm wondering how it was for you to grow up as a queer person in Colombia? Like, what's the difference between that? Do you feel more accepted in Colombia, or was it more accepted in the US?
I think maybe it's more about like the USA has maybe more people like questioning the system
Mm-hmm.
versus maybe here comfort of this is how we live,
Yeah.
this is how it is. Maybe with technology and like globalization, just like the more and more this city feels like more international. Like I can go out and find New York like restaurants and hotels and like places to go out, and also just the generations. Like maybe my mom's generation was like a little more religious. Her mom was a lot. Now my generation is not even think about religion or just other kinds of beliefs or systems. And of course, because we get to see also, wait, wow, we can see now. I can see I'm talking to you in the US and I can call my friend in Melbourne in Australia. It's just so also like you were traveling and your mind can just expand so much. So maybe there is like more like upfront, like, okay, we're going to talk about identity. I think here is more like, okay, like we talk about it well, but it doesn't feel like as rebel as US maybe. And I'm guessing that's why US is so number one country leading things, because people fight for their things too. Some things can be like a lot, but also Colombia is also far from being perfect. Like it's just really amazing weather, some things, but we also have the most poverty, and it's not about money like it's in the US, but it's more about community, more about family. So it's like one thing's for others. Like sometimes I'm thinking like if I want more money, definitely go back to the US. I can keep working and just generating more. Or do I want more mental peace, family, good weather, relatively cheaper food than here? So it's like you can't have it all at the same time.
Yeah.
So you gotta choose what's that you want.
So it's something, identity is not something that's talked as much about in Colombia.
Not really. It's not really like maybe again like maybe has been coming up more and more, but I think people still don't even understand what the difference is.
Yeah.
Or because also the way that his culture has known like trans people, it's usually been through trans girls, just known for like they work in the streets, they don't see themselves more than just that.
Right.
But now people are maybe also seeing like drag culture that kind of breaks that mold of like being trans is one thing, being drag is another thing, talking about your sexuality is another thing. So I think people are just starting to understand like
learn.
just this is different than just there's not just one singular color. So I think it's also our jobs as this next generation to talk about it. Like maybe before it was hard for us to like hold somebody's hand, and maybe now I see it more, just young kids just like walking, but when I'm like gray, that's how you have to just reclaim it.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, like that. I think US like plays a really key role in the world. Whatever is happening there, it just falls down into also these countries. I also see many people just like supporting Trump, saying like, yes, please come attack Colombia, like kind of like because they don't like the government here either. But it's just insane to also support what that guy is doing and like how manipulated people are. Like you don't understand what you are really supporting.
Yeah, that's a big problem in America right now. It's like, I definitely think in all parts of the world, like every country has their problems, like, and we need to really have media literacy and look into things and ask ourselves, what do we truly believe in, and not just follow what somebody who's seen to us as a leader, not just blindly follow what they say, and actually ask ourselves, like, is that something that I agree with? Because we, especially in America, like, we are known for being a democracy and have the right to have whatever opinion we have and to say if we disagree with something and let our voice be heard. So
yeah, and I also feel like maybe in US that people have, many I know live paycheck to paycheck. It's not like dollar land either, like that everybody's rich now.
No, it's only you.
But I do feel like here people are kind of so busy living, like just literally living to raise their kids, like feed their families, that doesn't seem like much time for awakening. Like only until you have time for like start questioning your life, your existence, your system, your beliefs, then it's like, like everything around you starts feeling like it doesn't work. And many times you have to take also that decision of like, do you continue to allow that to just reign your life and just drive you crazy, because the system is designed to fuck us up. So
True.
Either you just keep staring at it or live your life, because it's all gonna end at some point for all of us. We're all gonna die. So that's kind of what I feel here. Like I can just slow down a little bit, and because of the situation, I'm kind of traveling. I can get to see that from a different lens too.
Yeah, I think it's very important to be able to just exist and live your life, live your truth, and find joy and peace wherever you can. Because if we don't, then we'll be too consumed with everything that's going on in the world and in our country, to the point where we become debilitated and we can't do anything about it. We can't add those steps that we need to take to help our country into our everyday lives, and then put it aside and be able to live our lives and find the joy.
Right. Yeah.
Very important.
And it also not being too numb to what's happening, because then that's how they manipulate you too. So it's like, like everything in life is just a balance of living and just be awake.
Yeah, and especially if you're like thinking too much about it online all the time, taking in all this bad news, you're going to become desensitized to it. And so that's why it's so important to take breaks and spend time with your family, the people you love, your friends. Find community as well. Community is so important. I'm always yapping about community. I'm like, everyone needs to find community, but where are the places that we can find community right now? So
yeah, no, honestly, I think that I love all the work we did, and now that I'm here, I'm also realizing that in the journey of community work, it feels like we forget about us, because we're putting so much into others that it's sort of like you start forgetting the human you are here for. I think I have had to have some like internal work even here in this wonderland to remind myself of my own power, because sometimes we just give it so much to others or how other people are living, and comparison. The reality is like it's all already within us. Like you don't have to look up anywhere else. It's already inside.
yeah,
And that's kind of the hard job that I've had to just like remind myself, like I'm gonna have myself. That's the only human I'm gonna have.
at the end of the day, we only have ourselves, right?
We only have ourselves. So I think just being part of this community building is like self worth, self care, but also community care, because also just being by yourself is not too sane either, and that's what happens in USA. So many people are just isolated that it drives anybody crazy.
Yeah. What are some ways that you've been able to work on your relationship with yourself and build like self-love and confidence?
I think I've been using my TikTok for that. It seems like a therapy, and just questions around like sort of like I had to create a persona to show who I am, but in that same exercise I have to just dig in myself, like who I am and what I want to show. So I always love to dance, so I feel like dancing, especially this weekend. I had a moment. I was just in this friend's finca, beautiful, like again, it's like a paradise around me, but I was feeling disconnected. And I'm like, no, it just doesn't have to be with where you are. It's like internal. So I just asked everybody, like I needed a space. So I just went, have my own time, did my meditation, my affirmations, started doing exercising, like moving my body. And immediately it's sort of like a new energy enters my body and reminds me of that joy that I'm like, I am the one that gives myself that ability of joy. Nobody else is gonna give it this joy to me. It's just me and choosing joy, knowing that I'm in a dark place, but I don't want to be there. And the only way to pull me out of there is just through maybe like an ecosystem of things, from exercises to my mind to music. Listening music just heals my soul. So I think it's a combination of things that I have to remember. And I also forget because sometimes I enter into these like dark patterns and I forget that I have all these tools that I can tap on.
Mm-hmm.
And just we almost like the mind says it's okay to be dark, it's okay to be depressed until it becomes
The problem.
until it becomes the problem. So yeah, I allow myself to just, if I need to cry, I'm gonna cry, whatever I need to do, and then get up and keep going, because if not, then it just you start making excuses for it. Like, no, it's okay, stay in bed, watch another movie.
Yeah. I was
And
just
then
talking about this the other day, actually, about how, like, when you deal with mental health struggles, it's a problem for the rest of your life, but you almost train yourself like you train a muscle to just pick yourself back up and keep moving. That's like literally and figuratively, because moving is so important for your mental health. Dancing and exercising and just going on walks, good for your physical and your mental, but also just like moving forward despite the pain that you're in. It's so important to be able to let yourself feel your feelings, but you can't get stuck in them. You have to just like push yourself out of bed. You gotta do the coping mechanisms, and you gotta just keep living your life, because your life just can't stop just because you're sad, you know? And
yeah,
it feels like you wish you could just stay in bed, but life keeps going even if you choose to stay in bed.
I think about the city as like resilience. That's the word that the city makes me think about. So I also remind myself that if I do it, I'm building my resilience.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to be more resilient? Jump out of bed. Just like wake yourself up. Like just do whatever. Sometimes it feels like, oh, I can't. That's that's the precise moment. If you wait a little more, then you just lose that first like push. So also using that, it's almost like that depression comes to power you.
Yeah.
And if you let it power you down, she will. But if it's like, okay, let's use this anxiety to go to the gym, like use it as a force to do whatever.
I've had depression for a long time, and I feel like almost grateful for it in a way, because it's taught me so many lessons about like I'm in control of my life, and I am the one who controls if I stay like this and what I choose to do about it. Because there's one thing about feeling a feeling, it's another thing about doing something about that feeling.
It's like also proof to yourself. Like, are you also, sometimes we tell things in our minds that are just ideas. I'm gonna go to the gym all this week. And then tomorrow you wake up and you don't go. Like, you're betraying yourself. Like, you're proving yourself that you can, then you can.
Yeah.
But if you do a miss, knowing that life is really hard.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to keep going.
And setting new habits, especially like going to the gym, is really hard, because it can feel, there's so many feelings about it, and it can take a lot of energy. So I feel like the importance of building new habits is to start slow. If you want to start a new habit of going to the gym, maybe it's just like start doing it once a week, or start just like lifting weights for 5 minutes a day at your house, and then over time, as you build that muscle literally and figuratively, habit will grow.
No, that's true, because I also sometimes I feel like it's just listening to your body. Like, it's just about learning to hear what you need. Some days maybe you don't need the gym, maybe you need just a walk, and that's fine too. Like, whatever it is. Huh.
He's a very affectionate cat.
Hey, baby.
You want to say hello?
Hello. Meow.
So I recently have saw your new project that you've been working on, Joyriders, and I wanted to talk about that because you had mentioned how you love to travel and experience new cultures. So I wanted to share with the viewers your new project.
I don't see it specifically as a new project because when I met Sean, my husband, here in Colombia for the first time, he had the brand Joyriders. So he was already doing some work of like traveling. And I think that's kind of one thing that inspired me and connected me with him because I kind of saw in this guy just like somebody that had the power to be adventurous, unapologetically go wherever without fear. So I've been connected to that idea of joy through him already. And in this stage of our lives, I think it's still something that we're still just exploring what it is. But it's basically just a brand is called Joyriders. It's us just traveling around the world and spreading joy through being us. I think that's how it happens. Just you by you being you, then it's not about like, okay, let's post joy.
Right.
It's more like be more of us to inspire others and also just to see how others live joy in different cultures because I think I've also learned that yeah, joy isn't necessarily always like being happy and funny or no, it's actually knowing that you have all these dark sides too and choosing to get out of them with joy.
Yeah.
So it's like it exists within all of us and it's a decision that you have to make. So um, right now, I think it's a project more like a hobby, similar to when we started Nipur Pride, Nipura. It was just like we want to explore this community building, and then it just became something bigger that we were not expecting. Right now, we're in that stage, just a channel for exploring our relationship also as we travel. But at the same time, I have my own channels where I also get to explore more of myself. So lately, I've just been exploring with this concept of movement and joy, and I like never associated them specifically, but now I feel like there's some sort of connection with just moving your body and not specifically dancing. I think people think that dance, like that's why I choose movement versus dance because dance implies that maybe you have to learn something, but movement is just literally anybody can move. But also some cultures have thought as that if at least the male moves, then it's too effeminate or whatever conception they have about moving your body. My culture, moving is actually celebratory and
Yeah.
it moves your flow, like your blood, it makes you sweat. It also makes you have control of you. This is my body. I choose to move my body whatever way I want. And like looking at the mirror and like moving is just for me kind of magnetic. Just, you just literally generate energy around you. If we could see, it's like, I think that I can see that. So yeah, there's something about movement that I'm still exploring it more and more.
I just did the other night. I tried out a Zumba video because I was like, I want to move. I have energy. Let's do something unconventional. And, it was really fun. And then by the end of it, you've learned a new dance that you can use, like wherever you're going to go dance. And you're sweating because, like, people think that dance, like, simple, fun, easy. No, that it can be a workout.
It is, yeah. I think that's also something else that I learned with this box of tools that I've collected from meditation to affirmations to exercises. Like the more you combine, the better. So let's say it's dancing, it's an exercise, but if you pair it with affirmations, triple effect. So when I met Shano, he was doing something. It was intensati. So it's basically just like dancing and kind of punching like with affirmation. And again, I'm like, wow, there's so many ways, so many practices that help you raise your vibration. You just have to remember them, activate them when you need them to pull up your kid from that dark side, and you can.
One of the things that I like to do when I go to the gym is I have this playlist that I play, and it's all my favorite like confidence songs that make me feel like a bad bitch, essentially, and it makes me work out better. It makes you feel more confident at the end of it, and I think it's so much better to do that. And also, it lets you be more present because I know a lot of people love to like scroll on their phone in the gym or like watch a show. And I'm like, I'm not about that. I'm trying to like go there with intention. You know what I mean? Not just continue to doom scroll because that's something that's such a problem for me and so many other people. Like, it's so bad for your mental health. And I've been trying to get away from it. And I find that I've been playing Heyday a lot. I don't know if you know what Heyday is.
No, I imagine.
It's a virtual farming game. You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. I'd rather have a Heyday addiction than a scrolling addiction because it leaves me at the end of the day feeling more joyful than doom scrolling does. So.
Yeah, I think honestly, maybe technology is not the problem. It's more like how we use it. So, like in the idea of tools, so let's say the exercising works, but if you're scrolling, you're not even going to do the exercise. It's not going to work well, so you probably have to turn it off, like whatever you need to do. So it's that, again, combination, being so present.
Yeah, you gotta actually focus on what you're doing when you're in the gym too. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to like do the wrong form, you know?
Yeah, it's like maybe also behind the idea of multitasking, like produce. So okay, you're here, then you can read, you can text, you don't even allow yourself time for you. I just actually came back from I was looking for a gym subscription here. I found this gym. Oh my god, just like felt a connection. It's like all black and like neon rooms with specific themes. I'm like, this is what I need. Like, I need to come and like just focus on what I'm gonna do. It's not about seeing people. So yeah, also just choosing what works for you. Not gym works for everybody. Some people like to be outdoors, so whatever works for you.
And like sometimes, especially as queer people, gyms can be anxiety inducing. So like there's so many different ways to work out at home, you know, like get a yoga mat and do some yoga or get like some weights and you do resistance exercises or Zumba or whatever. There's Pilates, like there's so many different ways you can move, you know?
So much, yeah. It's just your mind. You have to fight against your mind. That's the only that's the main thing to fight. Yeah,
the war between your mind.
Literally.
Well, thank you so much for talking, Dani. I definitely wanted to ask if there's anything exciting coming up that you wanted to like shout out or just talk about.
No, I think more about just being present. Just being in Colombia just reminds me of how short life is and how much time we spend thinking of bad scenarios, like thinking of what could have been, and we just lose so much the present, literally, like because we are thinking of what could happen, what will happen, and we're just not enjoying like the now. So I think in these times, like your focus, your attention is just the most important thing. Don't let it get distracted, because if they distract you, they are just accomplishing what they want. Oh, you see, keep time with the kitty.
You know, cats do teach us a lot. They really do.
So much, so much.
You know, he's a really good communicator. If he wants attention, he will come and get me and get that attention. If he's set a boundary, he will swat at me or try to bite me.
Do not. Yeah.
He needs food, he will meow at me. Like, cats teach us.
And they can also just exist, you know, like just be there, sit. You don't have to do anything because we're taught to like, okay, like you can't just stay there, do nothing.
Yeah.
That's actually a gift to have the ability to just sit and think. And
That's the downside of technology, is that we have so much less time to just sit and do nothing. Like I think we need to be bored more.
yeah, more just like hobbies, enjoying one another. So yeah, my invitation is for everybody to come to Colombia. Don't let them sell you just one story. There's just so many versions about Colombia, and getting out of your own nest and like just break your own barriers. You see how you find your power.
Hey, and even if it's not Colombia, get out there and explore the world.
You can find me as my account currently is Dani Moves for Joy. That's kind of the name that I've just been resonating with. So yeah, Instagram and TikTok for now.
For now, who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
Who knows? So yeah.
Y'all should go and follow Dani. I love his content. It brings me joy and reminds me that I should go dance.
Yes, please. I gotta go do my dancing of the day.
Daily dancing. I love it.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and hopefully the busy noises of Medellin, Colombia weren't too distracting for you. I am trying my best not to be perfect and being a perfectionist about this podcast, because if I do, it will never get done. I just need to get it out there. So this is only my 4th episode anyway. It doesn't matter. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed, and please feel free to follow me on Instagram, Fairy in the Woods Podcast, if you'd like to get updates on when I'm releasing new episodes and what they're going to be about. New episodes of the podcast will be released the last Friday of every month. That is the goal. Maybe that will increase, maybe it will decrease. We'll see what happens. Life happens. I may want to do an advice episode, so if you guys want to get advice, then you should definitely follow me on Instagram. Also, the podcast is now available on Amazon Music and Audible, so if you listen there, go listen there. All right. Thank you guys so much. Till next time.